Hello, hello. Welcome. So lovely to see all your beautiful faces. I hope that you're having a great start to the weekend wherever you are in the world. Always blows me away to have people joining from all corners of the globe. This is such a melting pot of a community, and I just love that. Welcome, everyone. My name is Sophia. If we haven't met yet, this is Maria, the wonderful Maria. She is a green hat at the events, a Dr. Joe meditation assist, NCS certified, heart math certified, has been doing the work for 10 plus years, and will never tell you this herself because she's too modest about any of it. So we're lucky to be joined with her, and she's going to take us through a bunch of questions today about the work, about the breath. This is going to be the culmination of our 10-day challenge, our Breathe to Receive challenge, where we've been going through each day and doing one of the new Inspire Volume 2 tracks. So it's been amazing having you guys join us for that. We had just under 1,000 people participate in the challenge, so it's been amazing to have that. Like, we know the power of community, we know the power of changing on a collective level. And I just want to take a moment and say that everybody on this call should be very, very proud of themselves, because for 10 days, you showed up, you stepped beyond any limitations, any limiting beliefs that may have been coming up around why you can't do the work, around what boundaries in your personal life might have been coming up, and you showed up for yourself. So please be really, really proud of yourself. This is not the end of the challenge, it's the beginning. It's a jumping off point for an intention for your future self, for this higher being that you are now embodying. So wonderful to have you all here. I know for me, it was such an amazing refresh for my practice. It was taking it from a different angle, coming up against my edges, remembering that uh, there are different ways to attack things, and that even when discomfort surfaces, it is a sign that I am on the right path. So just wanted to share that. And Maria, what's been your experience over the past 10 days? What came up for you? What are you holding on to going forward? And is there any intention that you're setting that you really want to bring into this new chapter?
Mhm. Thank you, Sophia, and good. It's great to be here and to see all of you. For me, I believe my biggest takeaway is the understanding that those V1 and V2 Inspire, they can become our best tool, because whenever we feel stuck in our life, whenever we feel that we are reaching like a wall in a relationship with someone, in a conversation, in a project, in anything, we know that we need to change our energy, and then doing the breath changes our energy, because it raises the energy that we have stored in our first three energy centers. So I think it is the best thing we can do, rather than reacting, rather than trying to figure it out, rather than trying to analyze it, or to judge, or to try to change the other person, or to push the situation. We just need to change our energy. And that's why V2 and then V1 are here for us. I think that's my biggest takeaway.
Hmm. Thank you for sharing that. I can absolutely see how that would play that role. And in your
Yes.
personal practice, like what has that been like for you?
Definitely, I believe the power of this group, of this community. This is why um, we are reaching a point where we are seeing how the scientific model of emergence is matching where we are, because what we are experiencing, and I believe all of you experience it in a way, that people heal people, people connect with people, people help raise the energy of other people. So being part of this group created that subtle commitment that I had to show up first for each one of you, and then for me as part of the whole. So I think that is like that's probably what I'm bringing into my practice. I wish we could meet regularly to meditate and to work on ourselves, because I felt the power of us and disconnecting
I
this
felt it too.
connecting occasion. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a powerful group of people, and that's something that I love so deeply about this community is it is a community that shows up for each other, shows up to support people in our organization who are facing challenges to get into this work. It's so amazing that when we show up in these big and little ways, both for ourselves and others, the world changes. I had an Uber driver last night and we were just chatting about the world and connecting on all these different levels about consciousness and the universe, and she said something that really stood with me that I want to share. And it was that if everybody spent 1 minute a day being kind to someone else, that person would then ripple out to have that effect from to others. Like if I don't know if you guys can relate in this experience, but I've had those days in my life where I wake up, maybe I'm just on the wrong side of the bed. I'm stressed about something going on in my life and somebody holds the door open for me or they make eye contact with me and they smile at me. And the whole day shifts as a result of this little thing. And imagine if you could spend 1 minute a day being that person for others, like the whole collective would begin to shift. So I think it's an example of these ways that we're able to support our personal evolution, evolving the collective and the whole and the consciousness of this planet. So thank you all for being a part of that. Thank you all for your commitment to yourself. Would anybody like to share one intention that they had over the course of this challenge before we get started? You can share it in the chat or come off of mute.
Well, one other thing that I wanted to add is more of an anticipation of today's breath, what we are about to do together, because I listened to it this early morning as part of my meditation. And I love in this one, pay close attention to this track, because like in the first minute, Dr. Joe is gonna go center by center with a word, like with a power word that represents that center. So you're gonna hear him say passion on one, transmuted into security of two, and then turn it into power of three, mutating it into love on four, then the truth on five, then the mystical on six, and then the divine. So I found that very, very, very special, because sometimes you may notice in your exercise or in your practice that there is one center that maybe feels numb, or there is a word that doesn't feel quite resonant. So when we are doing that, we kind of raising the energy and we are synchronizing each energy center on our way up on the on the on the on the action of pulling the energy. So that was pretty awesome.
That's so powerful and what an intense and powerful track to end the challenge with. I'm so looking forward to it. Today,
Yes.
I know I mentioned this on the last call, but we're going to do a meditation directly following the breath. And we had the idea of doing one of the generating series so that we can really start our weekend with this generated energy, this generated collective intention. And because it's a collective intention, we wanted to kind of leave it up to the audience. So if you want to share in the chat, if you would prefer to do generating change, generating inspiration, or generating gratitude as the meditation following the breath track.
Change, inspiration. Oh my God, gratitude. I agree with Michelle.
All the
All of
things.
them.
Me too. And the great thing is we do these learning sessions every month. So they're always completely complimentary and we do a meditation each time. So this will not be the last one. Gratitude, gratitude, change, gratitude. I think I'm seeing a lot of gratitude or change.
Well, Sophia, it's your call.
Pressure's on.
Maybe you just, why don't you play it random?
Yeah, I love that
Sometimes I like
idea.
to play like that with my on my
Let the
phone. I
divine decide
scroll
for us.
and then
Okay, wonderful. So we're going to get into the breath track here now. As always, Dr. Joe invites you to put on headphones. It's the best way to listen to the track. Following the breath, we will just go directly into the meditation. So we'll play the breath track, get our brain all primed with those amazing neurochemicals, and then we will go into generating either change or gratitude. I'm just going to play it randomly and see what comes on. So
see you at the other side.
welcome back, everyone. We'll give you a minute to come back down to us. The name of the game is change. Maria, how is that for you, the experience of the breath and then the breath going straight into the meditation after?
I knew it was going to be change. It was pretty, yeah, it was pretty awesome. And to Batul, yes, this is the new Inspire volume 2. This is track number 10. And we noticed that there is an 11. There's still one more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is a bonus track on the album, track number 11. And I think that it would be a really sweet beginning of your new journey to embark on this in the way that we've been doing for the past 10 days, and you can do day 11 on your own tomorrow.
Yeah,
Keep the
let's do it.
momentum going.
Yeah, I'm in.
I'm in. Change. I love it. So it's been so wonderful having you all here for this experience. This is the first challenge like this that we've ever done, that we've put together, and it's been genuinely so fun having the community involved and challenging ourselves, me and Maria, and ever evolving this practice. I mean, it's just amazing that it just keeps going, it keeps growing, it keeps changing, and it always shows up for us, I think, in the way that we need, is the way that I feel like it meets me on a daily basis. So we're gonna open things up now to some questions. If you have any questions that are coming up about the breath, about the challenge, about the past 10 days, about the practice in general, Maria is an absolute wealth of knowledge. So we'll open up the floor. And I see that Pia has her hand raised. So please take it away.
Thank you. First of all, thank you very much for this challenge. It got me back on track after I've stopped meditating for a while.
So happy.
I have a question regarding the relationship between the breath and coherence. I have been doing, while I've stopped meditating, actually it's been because the breath was too much to me, and of course I realized I could meditate without doing the breath, but somehow it made me stop. But instead I have been practicing heart coherence with the inner balance trainer, and the thing is, I see that my coherence is actually can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. We hear you,
My
Pia.
coherence is actually a lot higher when I only do the heart-based breathing instead of when I also do the meditation. When I meditate, especially when I do the breath, of course, the coherence goes all down. But when I continue to meditate after the breath, the coherence is still lower than when I only do the heart-based breathing. And I saw in the Facebook group Leaving the Monastery that other people were experiencing this as well. So I thought maybe you, Maria, could have some kind of explanation or thoughts about it.
Okay, yeah, this is an advanced question, Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But let me share from my own understanding. When you get, no, first of all, doing the breath, this is not, doing the breath is the kind of breath that is not a relaxing breath. If you do a heart coherence technique, it is a relaxing technique because it is about slowing down. You're inhaling maybe to the count of 4 or to the count of 5, and exhaling to the count of 4 or the count of 5. So the intention of any of these heart coherence techniques is to set up a more, like, in this kind of way, smooth ups and downs of your HRV, of your heart rate variability, which in other words, it is combining your sympathetic nervous system as you inhale and your parasympathetic nervous system as you exhale in a very, nice ups and downs, gentle way. And the more you stay in that state, your coherence is going to start building. Your HRV is going to show you the green, solid bar on your screen. Now, when you're doing the breath, this is not a relaxing breath.
No.
This is an energizing, this is an activating breath because you're pulling the energy up. So your heart may start beating at a different pace. And then we have to check on our brain waves. But one thing is the heart coherence, and a whole other thing is the brain waves. When our brain waves start going up, because we're going from beta, and then we raise that energy, we bring that rush of energy all the way up to the brain. Maybe the brain is going to go up to gamma. And when you do that, it's very interesting. And I've heard this from the HeartMath Institute people. They say the monitor starts going into loops because the algorithm cannot track when the energy in our brain goes all the way up. And then we're having this amazing experience. But some scientists believe, oh my God, that person is having a seizure. And that's when Dr. Joe laughs and says, it's not a seizure. That person is having the moment. So it is, that's why it is different. Now, when we are in an event with Dr. Joe, he always starts with a very soft, gentle music where he guides us on how to put our attention on the heart. So he first makes us relax in the heart. And then we do the breath, and then we start going into that deeper state until we get into the field to create, to heal, whatever we are there up to. So with that, the model that he uses with us, or that he applies with us, is to first get into heart coherence, and to then go into creation. And when the heart is in coherence, then it's going to send a signal to the brain, and it's going to say, hey, Pia, now it's safe to create. So you have a coherent heart, and then you have a coherent brain. So the signal of the thought that you send is going to be way more clear. It's like the sharp QR signal for creation. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Oh my God.
Sorry.
That is such an interesting question. Thank you for asking that. Greg.
Good morning.
Good morning,
that
Greg.
That was a great meditation.
I know, I saw your
So
face.
that's a good thing you didn't see me with the camera on. During the meditation, I get this thing that happens, and it started long before I was working with Dr. Joe's meditations. And it's like this pulling at the back here. And it's like a jerking, like sometimes I'll just, I mean, and my whole body responds. And now it's not only that, it's like other parts of my body start shaking, but right away I go into this thinking like, is that really happening, or is that just me? I don't. I know for sure that the thing where my head jerks back and there's this pulling at the wind gate, um, there's nothing conscious about that at all. It's totally unconscious. And since I've started Dr. Joe's work more intensively, the only rhythm or sequence or whatever I can think of is as soon as he says to let go, or to just, you know, to go on the out, that's when it starts to happen, and then it goes away, and then it happens again. Like I can't control it. Anyways, I just want to see what you have to say about that, and if is that somewhat of a normal response.
Thank you, Greg. So how many people here, raise your hand if when you're doing the breath, you actually feel that energy and it somehow moves in a way that is chaotic or interesting? Are you seeing, Greg? There's a lot of hands raised there.
Well, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
move energy, it's not little energy. It is a lot of energy. So it's just it and look all the hands. This is so
Yeah.
lovely, Greg.
Yeah.
Look what you created.
Yeah. 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 Right.
Exactly.
Unification there. Yes. Yes. So the new thing is the movement of the body. I did, dimensionalizing time and space last night, and when he asked me to lay down, but I went to go lay in bed. Of course, I didn't fall asleep, but I like started to have convulsing, and I'm going like, this is a trip. It was almost, it it was to the degree where I wasn't even listening to what he was saying anymore, because my body had just basically taken over, but unconsciously. And so that's another normal thing to have happen.
Well, first of all, this is nothing that we do is normal. This is like the new normal.
The new
And then
normal, right?
energy moves and it seems like that, like your body is super open to that. What Dr. Joe
Yeah.
says is relax in that. If you know that you're safe, that you're not gonna fall down, or that you are, you created a safe environment for your body to move that energy, I would say just go on, go ahead. Don't in the moment you start analyzing, oh my God, what's going on? You're out. And then you lose it. And I was reading from Rachel Gonderberg. She says, so if nothing happens, does it mean that there is energy moving? We are always moving energy. It is more about how aware we are of the movement of energy. Some of us are not that aware. Some of us we do. It seems that you're pretty aware, Greg. But to Rachel and to any other who doesn't move that much energy, it doesn't matter. Still, remember that 50% of this exercise is about the passion. It is about the intention that you're putting on this exercise. So one day or another, sooner or later, the body is going to catch up. The body is going to get it, and it's going to start bringing to your awareness how much energy you're moving. But it is always happening. We are energy. We are 99.9999999% energy. So there's always energy. Thank you, Greg, for your question, and thank you, Rachel, for
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
What other questions are coming up for people? Questions, comments, reflections?
Great point that Tom is saying. When we start analyzing and noticing, we go back to neutral, back to the heart, and then we start over. Yeah, great point, Tom. Thank you.
Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Hi, everyone. Thank you.
Hey, how are you,
Thank you
Mercedes?
for the challenge. It's wonderful. My question is if you can provide me a suggestion. I've been practicing the work. I'm doing the formula, and I take some courses because I really want a change in my life. I have my intention, my feelings, and I've been evolving a lot. My personality, I am so grateful for that. But my intention, what I really want to manifest, it doesn't occur yet. And it has been a lot of time. So I sometimes have to deal with those ancient anxiety. And when I laugh at Dr. Joe saying, oh, when he mocks those people nagging about not having everything done or not achieving their goal. And I relate to that. But sometimes I don't know how to continue with, because I have the shakes and I have the movement of energy and realizations and really good experience, but in my reality, it doesn't occur yet. So maybe if you can give me some suggestion, I would really appreciate.
Thank you, Mercedes. It's a wonderful question, and I believe every single one of us here relate to that. We are creating and we see how amazing things happen just in front of our eyes, and we're like, but what about this other thing? What about this? What about that? So I totally totally relate to that. Now, when we talk about meditation, meditation is about becoming familiar with what are my programs, what are my thoughts, what are the choices that I'm making every day, and what are the experiences that I am creating, and then what are the emotions that I feel on a day-to-day basis. If we sit every day and we do the work, meaning bringing our attention inward, we're going to start observing some patterns there. And there are some beliefs, there are some, let's say, personality traits that are so embedded, they are like so under the carpet that you're cleaning your house, it looks awesome, but if you finally make it to, see what's under the carpet, there's still some of those beliefs that are there. And I'm talking from my heart, Mercedes, because I find this every day. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe I have this belief. About worthiness or about love or about money or in so many ways. So the process of overcoming yourself, Mercedes, is a never-ending process. And I believe what is the most important thing is to just show up to you are acknowledging yourself. I was taking notes. You say, I am evolving my personality. You are someone new. I believe you meet with someone from high school and they're going to tell you, oh my God, Mercedes, you look so beautiful. You look younger. And you have to say, yes, I know. But so there are changes happening in your life that are probably more subtle. But then when you say, my intention, my real one hasn't happened, so I have this anxiety, or I may be impatient. So those are the emotions that you need to grab your hand on: anxiety, impatience. So if I still feel separate from something or someone in my life, then I need to work on that separation state, or that that's what I need to address. And so in my next meditation, in the next breath that I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm just going to clean myself out from that. And maybe if I have to come back the next day, I'm going to do that, because this is what we need to work on the emotions that keep us separated from where we want to be, from where we are, from our future self. Is this making sense?
Yes, yes. It came to my mind the word control.
Okay, there you go. And that is a beautiful thing about control. Dr. Joe says, let's get into this work without expecting anything. If we let go of control and we just surrender to the experience, then we are not waiting for anything to happen. And that's when the unexpected is going to happen.
Okay. Last thought. I believe that I have been involving and I have a control mystical experience, a controlled one. So it's quite weird, but this shows us how powerful we are, even in controlling those experiences.
I know. And maybe an open-ended question that you could bring to the next meditation for someone like you or like me that like to control everything in our lives is, what would it be like to have an experience where I totally let go of control? What would it look like? It's just an open-ended question, and you just go in and see what happens.
Thank you so much, Maria and Sophie and everyone here.
You're
Thank you
welcome,
so much for
Mercedes.
being here.
Great question. Yes.
Great question. And I love that suggestion, Maria, to get curious about it. It's like when you bring the curiosity instead of bringing judgment or anything to your experience, it helps evolve it in this compassionate way, like we talked about a couple days ago. Beautiful. Is there any other questions coming up from people? Yes, Pia.
Not a question, but a suggestion. I really loved these live sessions. Usually, I can't attend the Give to Give live sessions because I'm on Central European time, and it's 2 a.m. here, and I have to get up in the morning. And if it was possible, I think it could be really, really, really lovely. I've really enjoyed these sessions because it's 4 a.m. in the afternoon here, so I've been able to attend. And I think when I see that people come from Germany and so forth, I think that we would be other from Central European time. So if it was possible, it would be really lovely. I know that the Dr. Joe live time slot is I think it's 12 noon
Pacific.
around where he is.
Mm.
That works around the globe. Just a suggestion.
Yes, thank you for asking that. And it's definitely something that Maria and I have been coming back to, because we've been trying to do it in a way where it accommodates different time zones and also accommodates people's work schedules. So trying to kind of work around all these different things. And we're never going to be able to get it perfect for everyone, but something that we've definitely recognized is that we have a big European community and we want to support that. So we're going to stagger our learning sessions in 2024 and do essentially like a morning session like this that's either 10 a.m. or 12 p.m. Eastern. And then the next month we'll do an evening session for people that are working in the US. So kind of doing those on and off every month. And then of course the recording and everything will always be shared if the time zone doesn't work for you. But we definitely want to be more inclusive of that European community. And it really is so fun to see people join from all over the world. So thank you for asking.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for the past 10 days. Like I said at the beginning, this is not the end of your transformation. This is the momentum. It's the kickstart into your future, into the person that you're becoming, and the intentions that you set on day one can propel you into whatever life you choose, because we are unlimited creators in this life, in this world, and you can go forth and create whatever you are looking for. So it's been so wonderful having you all here. I hope that you feel proud of yourself for showing up for 10 days, because that is no small feat. And we have these learning sessions every month. We're going to be doing next month with Barry Goldstein, focused on how to create and implement your own music program for transformation. And then Maria will be joining us for one of these open Q&A sessions with a meditation every other month. So we'll be back with Maria in April. Hope to have you all join us for that. Thank you again for being here. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope this was a kickstart of generating some change. And thank you all. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you, everyone. Lovely to see you. And then lovely and funny to hear everyone, and me included, saying, thank you for the challenge. Thank you for the challenge. And I'm like, we are crazy people. We are grateful for challenges. How awesome is that, right?
I love that. Absolutely.
So have a lovely weekend and see you guys very soon.